What's up, YouTube? We are working on Emma's turbo truck today. Purple one, known as Misdemeanor. Trying to make some progress on it. Went live on TikTok earlier. Got the fuel tank out. Got to change this out for an assembly that has a return line, since we're switching over to AN, and we need a vacuum reference for boost. We put a Walbro 525 in it. Right now we've cut all the stock fuel lines out, and we are getting ready to do 8 AN PTFE feed line and 6 AN return from Eagle Energy. Picked up one of their fuel filters as well. What you got going on? Decided to mount the filter right here. Like I said, we've got all the stock lines out. I'll probably remove this bracket too. I don't really care for it too much. I might shift the filter that way a little bit. Take the plastic piece off the metal bracket and use the holes in the metal bracket to tie back the AN line. But as you can tell, it doesn't really go beside it right now. It goes right under it. So I have to move the filter that way a little bit. But we can just move the filter. Go up like that. And then we've got some zip ties that have the little Christmas tree deals on them that will hold down in there. That's kind of what we're working on right now. Trying to get these fuel lines set up and ran. But man, it's been hot. A little dirt dauber's nest up here. We are running 2 ECMs on this truck. We're running the factory ECM to run the gauges, the AC, pretty much all the stuff on the inside that the body control module needs. Reference front, and then we're running an ACES EFI jackpot for LS. So, if you guys want to see more details on this build, you can follow our Facebook, follow us here, subscribe here on YouTube, and kind of going to touch base as we go through and finish the build. Trying to have it done for LS Fest East. We're actually trying to have it done a few weeks before LS Fest. That way she's got some time to put some miles on it, work out any bugs, anything like that. So we're mounting the factory ECM up here off the frame on the factory mount with the factory covered. And then the ACES is mounted up in the engine bay on the firewall. But so far it's a really clean install, super nice and clean. We're going to have to run 2 oil sending units, 2 coolant temp sensors, split VSS to get the cluster to work like it's going, because the ACES has to read that VSS too for ship points. So we've got all that hooked up. The ACES is hooked up. We've got our converter shim, we've got the converter bolt in, we've got the starter in, we've got our crankshaft fully on, our ARP bolt put in, running a Summit Racing 20% underdrive, ICT billet front accessory brackets. All around, man, it's gonna be a sweet build. It's super clean. She's got custom valve covers. We're gonna show those to you in a second. BTR valve covers, powder coated purple, and then we got our roller cut in. And then she's got a Holley high ram intake, well, Holley mid ram right now. But once we swap the intake on my truck, I think we're gonna take the bottom lower of the plenum and put it on her truck since it'll perform with the boost a little better. then she's got the lid that's got a color purple and a turbo that's funky as well. So here in a second, we might let the truck down and just show you guys all that, show you all the engine bay and what it looks like at the current stage of the build. But I guess I'm going to show you your valve covers.
Got a shadow in it.
Those are the blank valve covers from BTR, and had them powder coated locally, and then laser cut our logo. We sell a lot of these. We can have custom ones done with different logos. Of course, the powder coat job, the valve covers, the coil relocate, it is pretty pricey when it's said and done, but it's you know, it's different, man. It's one of a kind, and it's not something that everybody's doing. But we can get them in black or red from BTR or silver. But of course, if you laser engrave the silver, it's not gonna look like it would on a color like that. It's not gonna stand out. But the black ones, we've done a bunch of the black ones. We've done several for our buddy down at Fat Boys Garage in Central Arkansas. And we've had custom valve covers just about on everything we've built recently. But flip it around and show you guys again. I know we got some more people just jumped in here. I said Evil Energy is one of our main sponsors, so if you guys need any AN line, they do catch cans, they do fuel filters, fuel regulators. This is all stuff that we're going to be using to plumb her turbo and her fuel system. It's the factory ECM mount that we're going to be using. Rest of her ACES stuff. Show you guys the coil relocate, where we put them. Got them down here on the frame rails, tucked out of the way. Should be pretty nice when it's done. There's that Summit dampener. ICT billet brackets. As far as torque converter, she's running an FTI Performance, triple disc, billet, lockup. I think it was a 3600. Truck was wrapped metallic, satin metallic purple by Tim Masters in Paragould, Arkansas. Them whales, boy, them things are sexy. Fat ass tire out back. But this poor thing will meet its demise under some boost. But it's coming along. We did have the passenger side of the hot side on where it mocked up the turbo and everything, and her flange on her eBay header, stainless eBay header, did not mesh up with the VS wastegate very well, so we're having to order a couple more things for that. But we do have the driver's side on. You got me a zip tie up there I need to cut back. But stainless. Guys, for eBay stuff, that stuff was actually really good quality. The welds look good. Everything looks like it's sealed up really well. Running a Durrell block off for the 10 AN oil cooler lines, 4 AN to the turbo feed, and our second oil sending unit. You know that's not desired. It is not at the top of the block like the factory one, but that's what we're running. Now I guess we'll let this thing down, show you guys our turbo, our intake, our intercooler, some of the other parts we got in the bed, and show you guys the engine bay. Got to move this fuel tank real quick. Alright, that's good. Alright, I'll pick it up a little bit if you want to grab that lock. Well, it's hot here in Arkansas, believe it or not.
humid. As y'all can tell, we ain't got our entire shop insulated yet because that stuff is expensive. So we're toughing it out this summer. All right, coming down. As we just got our lift set up and working. Thankful for that. Very thankful for that. We needed that. All right, so we got our intercooler back here. It's a Frostbite intercooler from Summit Racing. Got a VS 7875 with a 1.25 AR. Powder coated purple. She had the lower plenum of this mid-ram powder coated satin black, but like I said, I think we're gonna take the Holley high ram off of Panda and put the lower on it for the longer runners and the higher RPM stuff and boost. And then there's her Holley lid she had done in purple as well. As far as the engine, it's a Michelin short block, stock crank, forged rod and piston, 5/60. Got her some double adjustable shocks for the back. There's some extra goodies in there that we haven't got to yet. One thing I do want to point out, we're running these aluminum V-bands from Evil Energy. If you guys haven't checked these out, these things are pretty sweet if you're building a custom cold side out of aluminum. These V-bands are really nice, so we're running some of those. Yeah, we ain't giving them no shout out. There's our reg and some fuel fittings and stuff for fuel rails. Guys, I'm not big on Amazon or eBay throttle bodies, but we ended up with this thing somehow or another back in the day. And we're gonna give it a shot. I don't know if it's gonna do what we need it to do, but we're sure gonna try. Some massive V-bands for her downpipe, 4-inch hot side on the downpipe. We ended up with an extra one of those too off another build. And then there's her ICT billet plug wires. Now, as far as the business end, we haven't got our valve covers on yet. Y'all saw those, they're still over there in the box. We got most of the ACES ran in the back. We did paint her firewall and inner fenders. And then we coated the actual fender liners and the fuse block and everything with this stuff called trim black. There's the ACES CFI ECM. We've got it mounted up out of the way where the TAC module was, factory. We really tidied up the wiring in this thing. There's not gonna be a lot showing. That's how I like them. We've got our oil cooler, trans cooler. This is still gonna retain AC. One reason we're running the factory ECM. And then we built some mounts to hold all this up. And then the intercooler actually mounts up right here in the bottom. Then our cold side runs out the top on both sides, drops, does a 180 and comes back up. All V-band, other than at the turbo and at the throttle body. We're ordering some AN fittings to go on the water pump and the heater core from Racetronics. So she'll have AN heater hose line. We're gonna have to trim this heat shield back some for the downpipe to go down. And then she's got something special she wants to do with the exhaust coming out the side back there. We are running a Mighty Mouse catch can with the brake booster mount. High dollar piece of equipment right there, but we really like those. We like them a lot. And of course, from the top, you can see her coils down there with the coil relocate. That's pretty much the rundown of the build. I'll walk around and show you guys the interior of the truck. It was a work truck, but it's super clean. Interior is really nice, very minimalistic, but very nice. Crank windows, no cruise. But it's a clean old truck. Most of these trucks were ragged plumb out. And this one's actually pretty clean on the inside. Did get a GFB boost controller. The idea is to try to set this thing up running on about 5 or 7 pounds when she's running around, but if she wants to party, she can grab a button and she'll be about 15 to 17 pounds. But we'll have to work our way up to that. Let her get some seat time in it. Lower boost and she'll be ready. Tim Masters killed the wrap. It looks great. We did mold in bought a wing off of eBay. Molded it in. Both sides. I'm not no body man, so y'all don't judge me too hard. And then we molded in the roll pan too. Can't really see because the tailgate's down. But we're slowly chiseling away at it. Like I said, we got to try to have it done a couple weeks before LS Fest. That way we can get some miles on it. We're road tripping this truck, my C10 Panda, the pink box Chevy that is in our group on 28's, Red's car. Then we got Fish Stick. We got Eddie's Bird, which is hopefully going to be done by then. And Sam's red crew cab turbo truck we call Khaled the crew cab. Because when it comes to 4L60s, he's yelling, and another one. But we're road tripping all those up from Northeast Arkansas to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Panda got accepted to go party with Burnout Wars this year. So we're gonna go up, take some fresh tires, try to come home with just rims. But man, it's been hot, so slow this down a little bit. We're running into some complications here at the shop, but we're starting to kind of smooth through things. Had trouble finding some help. We got that under control now. We got a new guy that just finished his first week and he's killing it. Now one of my biggest dilemmas is figuring out how I'm gonna get all these sponsor decals on this turd. We got several to put on. That being one of them. That's right. Get mad about it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I think we're gonna go get something to eat and try to cool off and maybe come back up here in a little while and make some fuel lines. That's the idea, that's the plan. Let's see if we can push through and achieve it in this heat. But you guys be sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, drop us a comment, let us know how you're liking our videos. We just dropped a Q&A where we sat and answered questions from Facebook. Had a great time doing that. It was a lot of fun. And we appreciate you guys more than y'all know. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good weekend.